5.5% guaranteed for 10 years. That's pretty attractive, especially as we're looking at the 10-year treasury right now, which has dropped to 4.283. You can see that right there, 4.283. And I thought the rates were supposed to go way through the roof because everyone was frightened about Trump's tariffs. We'll just show you. Let me just show you the 10-year treasury. So you can see if we go to year to date, Trump's tariffs, oh my goodness, the bond market. This is the beginning of the year over here, and this is right now. The bond market is getting crushed by Trump's tariffs. They're all going to die. Jim Cramer, all you guys suck, dude. Just everyone sucks. You don't know what you're talking about. That doesn't mean I know any better. But the idea like, oh my goodness, and Trump's tariffs are making the bond market freak out. It just is so stupid, dude. I can't stand it. Anyway, so given that the 10-year fixed annuity right now is paying more than the 10-year treasury, should tell you something. That means these interest rates probably aren't going to last long. So let's check it out. I'm at USAA.com, and we just clicked on retirement, and then we're at annuities, and we got these right here. Guaranteed interest rate, they call them, what do they call them? They call them fixed guaranteed growth. Some of y'all might call them MIGAs, multi-year guaranteed annuity. I just call them deferred annuities, fixed deferred annuities, or just fixed annuities, but either way. So here's the USA guaranteed interest rate, and you can see right there. For a 10-year fixed guaranteed growth, FGG, interest rates of 5.5%. And all you got to do is put $100,000 or more and get $5,500 a year guaranteed interest, guaranteed, with no risk other than USA going bankrupt. And the likelihood of that happening is so small. Now, if you want to put less in there, you're getting 5.1. But look at that, 5.5. The 10-year treasury is 120 basis points below that. The idea that these rates are going to stay this good for this long is not going to happen. I mean, I don't know. And I'm not telling you to go rush out and get this today. I don't know. But 5.5 guaranteed for 10 years, 10-year fixed growth annuity. Dude, are you kidding me? That's just fan. This by USAA. I don't know what. Let's go to Stan. What's his name? Stan the Annuity Man. Let's check him out. Let's see what we got. Let's go to Stan the Annuity Man. Yeah, 5.65 for 10 years. Look at that, dude. 5.75 for the 5. I would no. We want the 10. Now remember, with fixed annuities, all the ones I'm familiar with, you have access after the first year to 10% of your principal. All right, 10%. Now it's always LIFO, last in, first out. So you're always going to get your interest first. All right. So you're always going to pay tax on the interest. Well, let's just give an example. You got $100,000 in there. It goes to $105,500. So your $100,000 goes to $100,500. You have access to $10,550. Of that $10,500, without any penalty, what I'm saying. For most annuities, the vast majority, you always have, I say always, but the vast majority of annuities that I'm familiar with, these are fixed annuities, give you 10% access after the first year. All right, so again, you dumped $100,000 in there, and month 13 is worth $105,550. You have access to $10,550. Of that $10,550, $5,550 will be growth, i.e. interest, which you'll have to pay ordinary income tax. The remaining amount will be return of principal, which is not subject to taxation because you already pay tax on it. All right, so just keep it, unless it's in an IRA, and that's why we don't want to do annuities in IRA for two reasons. Everyone's like, you don't get double the tax deferral, don't ever do an annuity in IRA. People don't know what they're talking about. What happens when an annuity is matured after whatever, it's outside of an IRA in a brokerage account? There are two things you can do. You can do a 1035 exchange with three things. 1035 exchange to another annuity, and that's tax-free exchange, right? So you don't have to pay income tax. You don't have to declare any income if you're doing an exchange from an annuity A to annuity B. You can do that. Start a new contract. You can take the thing out. Well, if you take it out, remember that like I want to invest in VTI. Say I don't like this annuity anymore. I want to invest in the Vanguard Total Stock Index. To do that, you're cashing the entire annuity out, which means all the growth in that annuity is taxed as ordinary income. It's not subject to a penalty, but it's certainly subject to income tax for the growth. You can't defer that growth anymore. It's taxed as ordinary income. So if you put $100,000 in, 10 years later it's worth $150,000. That $50,000 is taxable as ordinary income. I'm telling you, man, that's a problem, a big problem with annuities. The third thing is just let it sit there. But the problem is you don't know what the interest rates you're going to have. So again, that might be valuable to you. I don't know. But if you're doing this inside an IRA, no one's saying you get double tax deferral. No one's saying that. But all the anti-annuity people say that. No one's claiming that you are. But you can move your annuity, again, to another annuity. It's a 1035 exchange inside the IRA. Still retains its tax-deferred status. Or you could just cancel it out and say do a trustee-to-trustee transfer from my annuity company, in this case USAA, to Vanguard brokerage account. It's kind of a hassle. I mean, you don't have to do much, but it's not as quick as doing Fidelity to Vanguard just because insurance companies are kind of pain in the butts. But it's not a taxable event. It's just not, because it's inside the umbrella of an IRA. No different than moving money inside your Fidelity IRA to Vanguard IRA. It's the exact same thing, and that is retaining the tax-deferred status. Anyway, look, I'm not telling you what to do. I just say if I'm like want secure growth with no downside risk, and I'm like 5.5% guaranteed for 10 years, that's pretty attractive to me, especially as I watch the interest rates drop. And I'm telling you, man, I don't know what's going to happen, but was it? They're meeting September. They're going to cut. I mean, I could be wrong, but they're going to cut for sure. Oh, you were wrong last time. Yeah, I was wrong last time, but you can see the writing on the wall. The economy is slowing, dude. It is. You can see the writing on the wall. When the economy slows, they're going to cut the rates because they all think interest rates determine economic output. It doesn't, but this is the Chicago School of Economics. Oh my goodness, interest rates. We got to cut them to stimulate the growth of the economy. It's stupid, but that's what they're going to do. And they're going to do it at some point just because they're so worried about the growth winding down, or they'll raise interest rates when they think high inflation. High inflation isn't coming. It's just not here. Anyway, something to think about, and I'm not recommending USAA. I'm not recommending staying the annuity guy, whatever his name is, staying the annuity man. I'm just saying this would be something to think about if I want guarantee interest rates that I'm getting a decent rate of return on. All right, God bless. Smash that like button, and we'll see you later.